I'm Jim. I'm in my second week of training for a half marathon. Today is an easy 3-mile run. So I'm right at the beginning of the journey. Let's see how today's run goes. It is July. I've been running for years. Started back in 2004, which would make my time in running about 20 years now, a couple decades. And I ran in high school, took a break. But in the last few years after I turned 50, before I was 50, with a lot of my running, I just felt invincible. Could never get hurt. I could always just hop out the back door and run 7 miles, not even thinking about it. But got my first injury several years ago. Kind of sidelined me for a while. And I've been having trouble getting back to consistent running. And I trained for a half marathon last year, which was a trail marathon. I like to focus on trail runs. Basically got a hip injury, hip flexor, I think psoas, maybe, because it seems to affect the back too. And so I took 2.5 months off. And interestingly, the hip flexor injury was not from running. I think maybe exacerbated from running, but I play pickleball as well. And the pickleball, I think, is where the injury came from the lateral movement. So this time around, for the first time in my life, I'm focusing on strength training. Since this is week 2 of my training, which I am using Garmin training coaches to set my schedule, although I would prefer an in-person coach or running group, but I live in a fairly rural community and we just don't have running clubs or shoe stores. I have to go to the next market to do that. Waiting for that sunrise. We have a little cloud coverage, so I don't know if she's gonna pop up or not, but always beautiful. Yeah, going back to my training. Second week, so first week with Garmin, they do some test runs to get a baseline. So I did a little bit of that. And then I discovered on a couple of my runs that it didn't sync with the workout. And it's like, oh, I did this run and it didn't count. But, I know it counts. I actually like the Garmin trainer. I used it last year to train for the half marathon and for a 5K. Had a couple different training plans. The beginning of summer I did the 5K and then I turned it over into a half marathon plan. Yeah, we have a tree line in the way now, so you can't see the sunrise. It did peak. They had a wedding there last night. It was an Indian wedding, so the music was interesting. My house is a block over, and we could hear the music. And my wife and I were like, we should go. All right, I am on the cool down now. And first run here of the week. Actually, second run of the week, to be honest. Because I did one on Sunday, which is the first day of the week in the training. It's a Wednesday. Second run, 3.2 miles. About a 12:30 pace, which is honestly a little faster than I'm used to. But it seems that when you talk on the camera, you speed up a little bit. I guess you kind of get your mind off of the running. So that, and I guess I felt good today. It is very humid. July, South Carolina equals humidity, even at 6 a.m. So I felt good. A little tingling in my right leg. or I should say foot-ish area, which I had a problem with during my last training cycle. And yes, I checked the shoelaces and, you know, all that stuff, not too tight, you know, everything's great. Changed shoes. The shoes that I'm running in are fairly new pair. They have less than probably 30 miles on them. And, you know, got these. Got actually like five, six sets of shoes that I can rotate. So it's like, not sure other than just muscle tightness. I think that could be an aspect of why just one foot falls asleep. And usually after you start running for a couple miles, it does that. So all in all, a good start. Yeah, follow me on the journey. I'm gonna be blogging at least a couple days a week. That's my goal, along with my training goal of the half marathon, which is Paris Mountains. So we got some elevation there, and as you might be able to tell, I'm in a flat environment. We do have some hills in my town, and I can go, you know, run from where I work. Got a few more hills up that way. That's the fall line of the state of South Carolina, which is Columbia, the Midlands. So anyway, thanks, and hope y'all enjoy.